Hello, it is Movazar. Today we are going to talk about the movie The Trap. The Trap, a movie where a serial killer falls into an FBI trap at a concert of a popular singer. Cornered, the criminal devises a clever escape plan. The film begins in a car where firefighter Cooper is driving with his teenage daughter, Riley, to a concert of her favorite singer, Lady Raven, who took her stage name after a raven bird. While making their way from the parking lot to the concert hall, they see the tour buses from which the artist emerges. Waiting in line, Cooper notices that there are too many SWAT officers guarding the event, but he doesn't pay much attention to it. In the concert hall foyer, he films his daughter dancing with other fans to the music playing from a TV, and at the same time, he continues to note the large number of police officers guarding the entrances and exits. Even when seated, Cooper notices there are so many cops in the building as if teenage girls' excitement had been declared a national threat. To an excited roar, Lady Raven begins her performance. Her main artistic achievement, however, is being born into a talented director's family. While his daughter enjoys the show with other fans, Cooper blocks the view of those behind him with his strong stature. Then he excuses himself to the restroom, where, in an empty stall, he takes out a phone. The man checks a surveillance camera aimed at a captive young man named Spencer being held in some building. Later, while washing his hands, he sees a hallucination of his deceased mother. Meanwhile, trucks filled with fresh SWAT teams approach the concert complex. An elderly FBI profiler, Dr. Grant, is leading the operation. Back in the hall, Cooper watches as the artist performs a lyrical ballad in the dim light illuminated by phone flashlights. He notices that the cops are escorting some men out of the hall for checks. During intermission, he and his daughter go to buy a souvenir t-shirt, but another girl also wants the last one. Cooper asks his daughter to let the other girl have it, which is noticed by the seller, Jamie, who is touched by the father's selflessness and promises to bring another t-shirt from the warehouse. Using this moment of trust, Cooper asks him why there are so many police officers in the building. It turns out the feds want to capture a serial killer nicknamed the Butcher under the guise of the concert. The FBI knows he will attend and has a rough description of the suspect, a middle-aged white man. Cooper walks around the building with his daughter, scouting potential escape routes. But cops are on guard everywhere, complicating matters. He even pushes a drunk fan down the stairs to distract the guards and check if he can slip out, but there are officers outside too. Soon the break ends. The singer invites a colleague for a duet. He appears on a retractable staircase from the basement. Searching for an exit, Cooper suggests they sneak in to see behind the scenes, but Riley refuses, interested in the performance. He leaves her alone and goes back to Jamie for the promised t-shirt. The seller takes him to a locked, technical corridor. During the process, Cooper secretly steals Jamie's keycard, pretending to be friendly. Using the card, he sneaks into another room where SWAT officers conduct a briefing. He calmly passes through the crowd of federal agents, grabs some sugar for one of them, and leaves, picking up a police radio on the way out, tuned to the police frequency. Outside, he encounters Riley's classmate's mother, but their conversation is interrupted by a commotion involving a man trying to flee the cops. Cooper notices Dr. Grant, the head of the operation. Returning to the hall, he plugs an earpiece into his ear and listens to the FBI's communications to understand their plan. They search and check people matching the description, one by one. When he asks to go to the restroom again, Riley complains that her dad is acting like a coward. He roams the corridors, listening to the radio and contemplating setting off the fire alarm, but overhears Dr. Grant's instructions to keep all men inside in case of emergency evacuation. Spotting a guarded exit to the roof, Cooper creates a diversion by overloading a French fryer with oil bottles, causing them to explode and distract the cops. Wearing a chef's apron, he sneaks onto the roof, but SWAT officers are already there. Cooper skillfully engages them in conversation, not revealing himself, even using the code word known by all employees learned from Jamie. He brazenly inquires about the elderly woman in charge of the operation. Descending back, he passes by a girl injured by the oil explosion, and meeting his disappointed daughter, agrees to watch the concert with her. During the performance, he has another brilliant idea. He approaches Lady Raven's uncle, who looks just like her father, maybe a twin. Cooper lies, claiming that Riley recently beat leukemia, hoping to soften and convince him to invite her on stage as a special guest. The plan works. Cooper and his daughter are led past a column of SWAT officers backstage, given honorary guest badges by the star's assistant, who directs Riley where and when to go on stage. Meanwhile, Cooper surveys the surroundings, looking for an escape route. When Riley is invited to dance during the song, Cooper happily watches her dance while another classmate argues with her mother. When a new girl is brought backstage and nearly faints from excitement, Cooper catches her and takes her to a room behind the stage, which seems like an easier place to escape from. From there, the man continues to observe the concert's progress, calculating all possible ways to avoid falling into the clutches of justice. After the concert ends, the honorary guests remain backstage as Lady Raven wants to meet them personally. Seizing the moment, Cooper listens to the police frequency again and realizes the situation is getting worse. All men are being checked before leaving, and all exits are blocked, making a quiet escape impossible. So he decides on a desperate move. He asks the singer for a private minute and confesses that he is the butcher everyone is looking for. As proof, Cooper shows her surveillance footage of Spencer, his new victim, whom he can kill with the press of a button. If Lady Raven doesn't help them escape, his death will be on her conscience. Realizing the gravity of the moment, the singer decides to help him. She leads Cooper and his daughter past the SWAT officers, treating them as important guests, and then drives them away in her limousine while the other concertgoers are filtered out under Dr. Grant's supervision. When the car is far enough, Cooper suggests they take a walk, but suddenly Lady Raven asks Riley if she can visit her home. This doesn't sit well with the father, but the singer learns his address anyway. He can't do anything to avoid disappointing his daughter, who is thrilled to meet her idol. The limousine drives to their suburban home, where Cooper's wife, Rachel, and their son, Logan, await. Despite Cooper's hidden disdain, the family invites the singer in. During dinner, she talks about the operation to catch the butcher. The FBI learned he planned to attend her concert and discovered one of his hideouts with a ticket receipt from an anonymous tip. The FBI profiler created a psychological profile of the suspect, a middle-aged white man with obsessive-compulsive disorder, possibly with mother issues, as she supposedly first noticed signs of his sociopathy. Hearing so much about himself, Cooper wants to escort the guest out, but she stalls by suggesting a song on the family piano, playing together with Riley. While Riley happily plays a duet with the star, Cooper records the event on his phone. Afterward, Lady Raven suggests taking a selfie, grabs Cooper's smartphone, and promptly excuses herself to the bathroom without returning the device. Despite all of his requests, the killer remains calm among his family. Locked in the bathroom, the singer activates the surveillance app. Thanks to two-way communication, she learns from Spencer that he is being held in a house with a blue door near a broken lion statue. Lady Raven starts a live stream on social media, asking her followers to find the broken lion statue and blue-doored house nearby and call the police. She also messages her driver to contact the cops. Meanwhile, Cooper politely knocks on the door without breaking it down. By the time he manages to open it, the singer's family is gone. He has locked them in an upstairs room. Checking the phone, the killer realizes Spencer has already been rescued. The place is empty. He takes the singer to the garage to leave. Getting in the car, he admits to her that he knows he is a monster and plans to end his own life. As he lifts the garage door, he sees his family outside, scared and confused. To avoid frightening the children more, he releases Lady Raven and stays inside the house to await the arrival of law enforcement. The family is taken away by the police, and the singer gets into her limousine, watching the raid on the house from there. However, the officers only find a secret underground tunnel inside, allowing the clever killer to escape. The limousine takes off, but it stops further away. It turns out Cooper, disguised as a SWAT officer, is at the wheel. He handcuffs the star to the railing and takes her to another hideout. Stopping in traffic, the killer sees that the singer opened the window and asked her fans to call the police. He shuts the window, but the girl breaks the handrail and escapes into the safe crowd of fans. Soon, SWAT teams arrive and surround the limousine, shooting out all the tires just in case. A federal agent offers the driver to surrender, but no response comes. The SWAT team opens fire, only to find the car empty, containing only a dummy made of boxes and a helmet. Disguised in Lady Raven's merch, Cooper blends into the crowd and safely leaves the area on foot. Rachel, Cooper's wife, sends the children to their relatives and returns home. Dr. Grant warns her that the police are on guard outside just in case. However, the security does not prevent the killer from entering his house to talk with his terrified wife. Cooper wonders how he, so calculated and genius, could slip up with the forgotten ticket receipts. Rachel confesses that it was her doing. She noticed her husband behaving strangely, but initially thought it was due to infidelity. However, when he casually lied to someone in front of her, she realized she didn't know him at all. Piecing the facts together and following him to one of his hideouts, she understood he was the butcher. Then, she planted the tickets in the lair and anonymously tipped off the police, which led to these events. Cooper, now ready to chop his wife to pieces with an axe, carefully removes his shirt to avoid blood splatter, but she suggests having a piece of cake first to celebrate their daughter's concert visit. The killer agrees, not suspecting that his wife has drugged his portion with narcotics from his bag. The drug affects his coordination, and soon hallucinations follow. Cooper's mother tells him she is proud of him. He has begun to feel genuine emotions rather than imitate them, even if it is just the rage towards his wife, who outsmarted him and prevented him from seeing his children grow up. Cooper heads towards his mother but falls into the FBI's hands, who fire tasers at him. When the criminal is led outside in handcuffs, he asks for a minute to fix his daughter's fallen bicycle. Soon, Riley and her brother are brought by the police. The girl runs to her loving father for one last hug. Cooper is locked in a truck and taken to prison. On the way, he takes a bicycle spoke from his shirt sleeve, which he broke off while fixing his daughter's bike, and easily unlocks the handcuffs, smiling at the camera. In the post-credits scene, the vendor Jamie watches a report about the serial killer, the butcher, recognizing the kind father, Cooper. The man swears never to talk to customers again. The movie ends here.